Here's the camera.
You've got 5 horses entered in the Claiming Crown, and you'd hope to have more. So, I mean, you really, clearly this is something you'd been pointing for.
Yeah, it's been really 2 years in the making for us. As we started the Grit to Glory syndicate almost 2 years to the day, and we've kind of tried to build for this. And then when they announced it was coming to Churchill, it kind of got us even more excited. So we targeted even more and tried to get kind of a horse for each race. Unfortunately, I think we have 4 of them that didn't make their spots, and we have 2 pairs that are in the same race. So it kind of narrowed down our options a little bit. But we still have, I think, some pretty good chances, and it should be a fun day for the group.
So what is it about the Claiming Crown that you were making, for 2 years, like you said, that you were pointing towards?
Well, the groups that we've set up, the syndicates, the way we set our syndicates up, it's a smaller group of people, 20 people, and we try to keep it between 4.5% share, so we don't have to do all the licensing stuff. But we don't have access to the high dollar horses, and so what we have to do is do a lot of groundwork and find potential horses that fit these conditions, and then we see if they work out over the long term, and if we can improve them enough to where we have a shot in these races. And it kind of is our Breeders' Cup, and so it's more of a blue collar, working class type race day, and that's the kind of stable we have. And so we're fortunate that it's at Churchill this year, and it's made a big difference for us, because to make the ship to Gulfstream, it's difficult for this kind of horse and for this kind of outfit. So it's been a blessing to have it here at Churchill this year.
So it's a big deal for your owners.
Yeah, it's a very big deal. I mean, we started the one syndicate. We have 4 horses in today for Grit to Glory. I think we started it in the last of October. First horse we claimed was last of October 2 years ago, and a horse named Knight's Cross. And I think we've pursed out nearly $1 million on an original investment of $220,000, and we still have a lot in the bank to go and target more horses. So this could really be a big capstone at the end of this year. And most of these horses now all lose their eligibility December 31st. So it's nice that it's been able to come here and compete in this type of venue.
And you were telling me that Saturday is JVB Stable Appreciation Day.
Yeah, we have a bunch of clients coming in, so my wife and I decided we're going to do a Berg Racing Client Appreciation Day and up in the Jockey Club Suites, and have clients out and give some gifts to them back, and just to thank you for supporting us and being part of this program the last 2 years, because it's been one of our better years we've done. So it's just it's a fitting into this, and hopefully the horses show up Saturday and help us make it that fairy tale ending.
Well, tell us about your horses. Go through the lineup.
Well, Decision Maker, he's going to be in the Jewel. He's been the stable star for a long time. I think he won 3 starters at Oaklawn this year on a track that I didn't think he particularly liked, because he's a closer. And then he came up to Churchill and won an A other than, and he came back to Churchill and won a 2 other than. And so he's been a pretty standout star for that group for Grit to Glory. And so he's going to be in the mile 8 dirt race, and he really enjoys this track here. He loves Churchill Downs, loves that long stretch, and the mile 8 hits him perfectly. And then we have one of our other syndicate, Chicken Fried Racing, Tiz Ride Time. He's a horse that we targeted. I probably watched him for 6 months when Ian Wilkes had him, and loved the horse. And it was one of those ones, he was just kind of a really strong training horse, and they finally gelded him, and it was a brilliant move, and they took him up Saratoga, and I never thought we'd get a shot at him. And he dropped him in for 50 at Keeneland, and we dropped for him then, and we got a 7-way shake, and Saffie Joseph got him, took him to Florida, and I thought we'd never see him again. And the next time he showed up in the spring at Oaklawn, and Chris Hartman had him, ran for 50, and we won a 3-way shake to get him, and he just won a big race down at Keeneland, an A other than at Keeneland, with a really nice closing effort. So he's taken a step up, but I think with his recent races and his consistency, I think he'll at least be running at the end. I don't know if we're good enough with him, but we're going to give him a shot with him. And then we have 2 in the rapid transit, the 7 furlong boys, the Queen's Jewels, who we claimed for I think 20 in the spring, and it was we just got done winning a race, starter race at Keeneland, beat the Beverly Park, who's probably going to be the favorite and the other starter. And he's been real consistent with us, had some serious feet problems, and we've got those straightened out, and he's just training unbelievably well right now. And then a horse we claimed for 40 at Keeneland just 3 weeks ago, named Lieutenant Junior Grade, ran a very big race down at Keeneland. He beat Macron for Steve Asmussen that day for 40 on a brilliant race. And Alexis Clare, we got him off of Alexis Clare, and she's done an excellent job with him. And not much we had to address with him. He's just set, ready to go. And then we have Petit Verdot in the 5.5, the Tom Metzen turf sprint. And I think he's probably not quite the quality of the Metzen horses on the grass, but if it rains tomorrow and something where it comes off the turf, then I think we'd have a shot, and we'd probably only run if it came off the turf. I think that's the only way that he would be competitive in that field.
And it's amazing how many of these horses are stake horses.
Yeah, it really is. It's tougher than you think when you listen to what the concept is, but when you see some of these horses coming in here, they're really proven race horses, and it does, like you say, it makes the excitement of a big day accessible to the smaller outfits and the horsemen that are in it 365 days a year, and they don't get the chance or the opportunity very often to run for those big purses and those exciting races like the larger outfits do. So I mean, it is it's a very big compliment to the HBPA to say, hey, you know what, we're going to give back to some of the smaller outfits and the smaller horsemen, and you know, they put their work in too, so let's give them a little bit of a reward and a little bit of a chance to have some excitement.